we're here with Bill Hunsberger, one of our local friends in our pickleball community, who is an 89-year-old national gold medalist, still traveling nationally and still earning gold medals. So thank you so much for coming here and talking to us today. We're excited to chat with you and hear more about your tournaments and your contributions that we're also grateful for in our local pickleball community.
You mentioned tournaments. I guess you said you wanted me to talk about some of the tournaments and some of the games in the tournament. My main male partner is Potham Verghese, and he's from Indiana, Pennsylvania, and we've played in about at least 12 tournaments together since 2017. And in our age bracket, which started out to be 80, 84, now we're up to 85, 89. We are still undefeated. We've won, I think it's 65 out of about 68 or 69 games, and so we've played in 4 national senior games tournaments. And the first one we played in was in Birmingham, Alabama in 2017. And there were 13 teams in the 80-84 bracket. And it was a great first tournament. What was really good was overall we went 12-2 in games in that tournament. So we were in the final, the gold medal match, and we won the first game, and I forget, it might have been like 11-7 or 8. It was close. And then the second game, which was the best out of 3, if we hadn't won that one, then we were going to have to go to a third game, and then it was really on the line. These guys who were playing were really good, and we got to, it was 11 to win by 2. Well, we went back and forth. They'd be ahead, we'd be ahead. Anyhow, it ended up, we beat them 16-14. That was the longest game I ever played.
That's a barn burner for sure. That's a barn burner.
And
sounds
what
exhausting.
what was so fascinating was the winning shot was I hit it, and it was like a drive, and it hit the net and did. That was the winning shot, and everybody go, oh.
Did you say I'm sorry?
Yeah, no, I didn't apologize. I said great shot.
Right, great shot, and I'm leaving. I'll take my medal, and I'm tired. I'm going home.
True. So that was an interesting tournament, and I want to mention a couple of the guys we played against because they've become sort of friends over the years. I see them at the tournaments. The guys that we beat, that got the silver, was Ron Lucas and Jack Warner, and the bronze went to Rex Lohr and Tom Pappas. And Rex Lohr is an interesting guy. He's very competitive, and he shows up again in 2019. So in 2019, we were, Poe and I went 10-0, but when we got to the gold match, again, it was the best of 3, and we were playing Rex and Walter Kirstein, and we beat them. The first game was 13-11. I mean, that was nip and tuck too, and I think we beat them 11-5. So that was the second national senior games. I mean, the third one was in 2022 in Fort Lauderdale. That second one was in Albuquerque, and the third one we went 6-0, and we were in the 85-89 bracket at that point, and there were. The games were very close, but we won there too. And again, the team that got the silver, again, was Rex Lohr and it's Walter. These two guys were silvers both times. I might mention in Albuquerque, there were 15 teams in our bracket, and in Fort Lauderdale, they were down to, we had 7. So then the last... so also I played mixed doubles with Betty De La Cruz, and we got a bronze. That was my best in mixed. And so that was good. So in 2023, things changed a lot because I got into skill levels. And Poe, he was a 4.0, and so there were no other 4.0s in 85, 89, you know. So it means it's sort of an automatic gold. But then they played us down. We were playing with guys in their 70s, 4.0s in their 70s. And I might have to say I had my clock cleaned a couple times. You know, they're very good. And so then, but the good news was in mixed doubles, Betty and I played. We won 5 matches and we got a gold in the mix. So that was our best gold in the mixed.
And what bracket was that?
That was 85, 89.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was that a skill level as well?
And that was skill. I was 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that was a great match and a great time. It was also, I don't know if I would mention about that. I can mention about the game changer because that happened.
Oh yeah.
At the same time.
Absolutely.
I think you probably should mention that.
Mention
It's
it.
a little bit of a big deal.
It's a little bit of a big deal.
Well, they give out, Humana gives out an award. It's called the Game Changer, which I never heard of really. But they gave out 28 of them, but to I think they had 11,000 athletes in 20 sports, you know. And so they pretty much gave one game changer in each sport, pretty much what they did. So anyhow, I was awarded the game changer. It's supposed to be I'm supposed to be an inspiration. So you can tell how excited people get when they're around me, you know?
Oh, you know, I mean, we've seen it, you know, it's a bit, you know, you're kind of a big deal here. You know.
One of 28 recipients out of 11,000 athletes.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
That's a pretty good number.
It was good.
Yeah.
I felt honored. You know, I mean, it wasn't like the greatest honor in the world, but it was, you know, nice recognition. But
was that at the tournament? Because didn't
Yeah.
sponsor the senior games?
yeah, that was. It just so happened that Betty and I had actually just finished winning the gold. I mean, within 3 minutes they came over with this award. It just happened to be that way, which was kind of neat, really. And so, and the other thing was. Let's see, I meant to mention that in the Fort Lauderdale, we got the gold, but Rex Lawyer and this Walter guy, they got silver again.
Okay.
So, and what of interest was in Pittsburgh, because we had the 4.0, we were playing in a different bracket than he was, but I ended up playing singles, and I got my best singles was a 4th, and guess who beat me? Rex Lawyer. He was the guy. So, but you know, it's just such fun. You run into these guys, and everybody's out there doing their best and having fun. And in between games, you know, you're like your best of friends. You know.
Yeah, socialize together.
As soon as you get on the court, you know how to kill that guy.
Right, yeah, I'm going for blood then.
Yeah. So, but I wanted to say one thing about how hard it is to not only get to the nationals, but I mean, literally get there. I mean, when you're older, you have to first you have to qualify, but then you have to have a partner, you know, and you have to register. You have to get, you know, you have to get your plane. You have to get rooms. I mean, there's a lot to it. Just getting there.
Yeah.
And so for me, particularly the first 2 times, getting there was a real challenge because my wife Sylvia was struggling, you know, with Alzheimer's for the last 7 years, and so that started in 2013. So in 2017 and 19, I couldn't go unless I had great coverage, and so I have to thank my sons and other people who kind of came forward. I had to cover 24 hours a day, and those 2 tournaments you were away for 8 days because the tournaments were every other day you played. And I have to say my son Michael and Ryan, they did a great job, and I appreciate that. And without that, I would not have been able to go, you know. And maybe you'll show a photo, but when I would come back from getting a gold, I would always put it on my wife around her neck, and she loved that, you know. I don't know that she understood totally what it was all about, but she smiled. She thought it was great. So, and I thought, you know, she got a medal, she didn't have to play. That was good, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just wanted to thank those people who helped a lot. And the other thing I wanted to do, I don't know if it's the right time to do it, but I wanted to mention how important a lot of people were that I played against and with. And could I just mention a bunch of names of people that
Please.
Yeah, absolutely.
these are people that I played with or against. Ron Lucas, Jack Warner, Rex Lohr, Tom Pappas, Hank Palmer, Albert Delaney, Mike Johnson, Yim Lee, Gil Middleton, Ron Coleman, Keith Davis, Richard Sharp, David Heist, Jim Mars, and Tom Wheeler. You know Tom. Mm-hmm. And my female partners, Gail Brown, Judy Lang, and Betty De La Cruz. They're you know, when you play doubles, you're a team, and you come pretty close to people, and you know how that goes. Yeah. So, yeah, thanks for letting me mention their names.
Absolutely. And are they based all over the country?
All over the country.
And then you come together at the National Senior Games.
That's what's so different. I only ever see these people at a tournament. Mm-hmm. And so everybody, they're playing at home, you know. Right. And so when you come, if you do well, it's just somehow or other you tend to click together. You know, that's how it works with people,
there's
right?
the chemistry with your partner and sometimes your opponents as well. Yeah.
My main male partner, Potham, I call him Poe because if I had to say Potham, the ball would be going already, so I was calling Poe. But anyhow, you know, he was a chemistry professor, and he's very methodical and a very good placement, good serve. And he accuses me of poaching a lot. I don't know why he would ever say that.
No, I can't imagine.
But we really have clicked, and we've gotten to be friends, and so we get sort of in each other's lives a little bit, you know, by phone mainly. Mm-hmm. And but so yeah, it's been a good time, and it's not done yet. You know, we got to go for our 5th. We call this the Pentagon next year in Iowa. But,
and for that one, you qualified this year in 2024, right. And then the senior games that you qualified for will be next July?
Next July, right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm qualified in all 3 events. Now, next year I'll be playing in the 90-plus bracket. I hope it's a good celebration. I mean, but so I don't know, in singles, I don't know if there'll be anybody in my bracket, you know.
Gold.
Yeah,
you'll get gold.
But in mixed, I mean, I might be playing with Betty. She wants to play with her husband. I want her to. Betty's having a few medical issues right now, but I think she'll get through it. And if she wants to play with her husband, I'm all for that. If not, we'll play together. So I may be not be playing mixed. I don't know. But Poe and I will be there and playing. And again, I don't know how many we'll have in our bracket or not. It's kind of sad because as you get older, I guess there's a point at which you lose interest or you can't play or, you know, you're out of here, right? Mm-hmm. So we just do it as much as we can. So we'll go one more time. And that's about all I can say on that one, yeah.
Well, speaking of the Humana Award, obviously at a national level, you're recognized for your contributions to pickleball, but locally, you've done some amazing things for the local pickleball community as well, and we would love to hear, you know, for you to speak on that. There's a lot of places that we play and other local players play that would not be possible without you, which is an amazing feat that you've, you know, given back to the community that you love so much.
Well, one of the things I guess you're referring to is the Leidensburg Community Center.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
That's interesting. Sylvia was still alive, and I think in 2019 is when they started to do that. And I saw that they were going to do it, and so I was pretty tied up, but I gave them a donation. I gave them enough. I thought that would sort of keep them off my back, you know. And what it did. But then after Sylvia passed in 2020, in March, I started having a little more time, and I noticed that, they had some places where you could donate, and like naming rights. Okay, so I went out and talked with them, and I said, I don't know, I might be willing to do something in my wife's name. What do you have? You know, and they started out like, well, if you want to name the building, that's $1 million. Oh, you have anything else? You know, like, and so they went down. The gym was next, and that was pretty salty. And it kept going down. I mean, the lowest one was a flagpole for $25,000. I mean, I love flags, but you know what I mean? So I
just
said,
as much as the next guy. Maybe not $25,000 worth for a flag, but
just a little. I said, let's see, what, you have meeting rooms, right? Yeah, okay. So I said, okay, how about that meeting room? There's 2 meeting rooms, and I think one was like 100 and one was 50, you know. I said, I'll go to that one. So I go home at night, and if you've ever lost anybody important in your life, sometimes when you lay down and it's all quiet, this person will talk to you. So I'm laying there at night, and Sylvia appears in my mind. And I mean, it's all dark. Oh, you know, there she is. You know? And she said, so what did you do today? Well, I mean, today I was up at Leitersburg, and I was talking with them. They're going to build a new building, you know, and talked about naming rights. And I decided I would love to do something. She said, oh, that's great. What did you do? And I said, I decided I would name one of the, I said, or they started out, I said, well, like $1 million for the building. And so I ended up, I said, I'm going to give, I think, 50 for one of the meeting rooms. She said, so what were the other ones? And I told her them again. She said, don't be so cheap. Go for the gym. You know? So I said, okay. So, I mean, I do what I'm told. So I went,
She remained the boss.
So I went the next day and I talked, and I went to the gymnasium, and they dedicated it to Sylvia. It's called the Sylvia A. Hunsberger Gymnasium. So every day I go to play, I have to pass her photo there, and so she watches me. I mean, when I have a bad day, I go out the other door. But it's a great gym. It's a perfect. It's got a nice floor.
It's a great facility.
And so I'm so proud that she's part of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The other thing I did that you could see, I guess, would be over at Brook Lane. I worked there 16 and a half years back in the 60s and 70s. And then I was in private practice other places after that. But they always had a tennis court I remember playing on when I was working there. But nobody was using it. It was in bad shape. And I said, you know what? I think that court should be made into pickleball courts, because they have residents, you know, young residents there and so on, in school. And so I was able to give them the money to rehab it and put 2 pickleball courts on there. And that was finished probably maybe 3 months ago. And now the kids are over there, and it was a very quiet place. And now people tell me it's really noisy over there because they're over there having fun, you know. And so
That's awesome.
I feel really good because it's very, pickleball is very therapeutic, as you know. Mm-hmm. And I say it's so therapeutic, I think insurance companies should pay for it, right? But yeah, they're probably the main things, tangible things that I've done. I mean, I root for people, and I get involved with, if I can, like sort of an inspirational kind of a talk, and so on. You know, you don't realize that when you get to be my age that you become sort of an inspiration to some people, right? And so, you know, I just kind of do my best, and, you know, kind of go for the gold if you can, right?
And just to mention, Brook Lane is an inpatient mental health facility.
That's right, yeah, inpatient, outpatient, right.
So the patients are reaping all the benefits that we experience from pickleball. And like you said, like medically, that should even be part of insurance.
Really, we all know how important pickleball has become to people.
Absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And I noticed when you guys, if you can't play every day, I noticed you get the shakes.
The addiction is
Yeah.
real.
The DTs.
Yeah, no, it's not, yeah, and not just every day, but for multiple hours on end.
Yeah,
so, you know,
I know.
If it's
5.5
like not a
hours
if it's not a
yesterday.
5.5 hour day, then was it
Yeah.
was it a good day?
Yeah, you're addicted for sure. But I tell you, most of the people I see playing are addicted. They want to play.
Yeah.
It's such a great outlet, like for
Yeah.
whether it's dealing with your wife's illness and
Yeah.
being able to immerse yourself among people with the same passion, or when it was time to grieve,
Yeah.
or the mental health inpatient, the residents of that facility, or anyone dealing with the normal stresses of life.
Yeah. We talked about that earlier, about how important it was to me in terms of basically sort of a life-saving experience, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it is that for other people. So it's a good thing. It's definitely an epidemic in our country, you know.
It's the
A
best,
good one,
the
a good
best
one.
kind,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's amazing what you've done to help provide the facilities so that people can enjoy that release, that outlet, and the social aspect, the fun.
I didn't set out to do that. I mean, I kind of fell into it, if you know what I mean. And I mean, I had a pushy wife, and
Well, thank you, Sylvia, because that's how we
Yeah.
all met.
Yeah.
And that's a place that we enjoy playing at.
yeah, Sylvia was a great person. She used to play some tennis years ago, and I don't know if she would ever gotten into pickleball. But the sad thing for me was that because of her illness and her difficulty, like she really couldn't come and sit and watch her. She'd get up and walk around, and she actually never saw me play one game of pickleball. So, but maybe she did, and I didn't know it, you know. But not
Now
that
she
that-
watches you every day.
Yeah, now she watches me every day. Gee,
Yeah.
man. yeah.
Well, thank you for everything that you do for the local community, for national. I mean, you're well known, well respected, and we thank you for all those contributions. It does not go unnoticed, and
Well, thank you.
you know, you definitely have made a great impact in pickleball players' lives, and they're benefiting greatly from your love of the sport. And it's great to see somebody give back the way that you do to a sport that it has helped them so much, and is now able to, you know, help others in the same way.
Thanks for that, John. And
Yeah.
Sarah.